everybody, welcome to the Coffee Lounge chat. If you are new here, in these videos we take one or two Bible verse and then I share a story of my life, how I see that connects with the verse, and then I encourage you guys to comment also to see how you connect with these stories, right? And you don't have to be a Christian to listen to this Bible verses or the stories, because it is all about how the struggles that we go through in life 2000 years ago, people have gone through them and they have come out on the other side. So if you know my story, I'm actually a new Christian. I became Christian only about a year and a half ago, and it was a very unpredictable path, because I grew up Hindu all my life, and after everything fell apart, 2.5 years ago, I followed Buddhism for 6 months, and then a lot of unexplainable events is what got me into Christianity. So now I am not very traditional Christian, so I'm not going to get into the detail here. I feel like faith is personal for all, and it needs to be allowed to be personal. So without getting into the details, today's verse is Proverb 3, 5, and 6. Proverb 3, 5, and 6. I'm going to read it from the World English Bible version, web version, because it doesn't have the copyright. You guys know I usually refer that, but when I actually read it, I usually read it from NLT or Message, which is MSG version. But anyway, so this one is, trust in Yahweh with all your heart, or you can replace that with God. Trust in God with all your heart, and don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. So in a nutshell, what it is everything that happens, it is God designed our path, right? So it doesn't matter what religion you follow, what kind of God you follow. Ultimately the thing is that it in some sense I see it as acceptance, because whatever happens in our life, when we accept it, it actually gets easier to get to the next level, because until you accept what has happened as it's supposed to be, you are kind of resisting, right? And you have heard the thing that they say, what you resist persists, right? So when you accept, it kind of helps you to let it go. So in this channel we talk about separation, divorce, or job loss. In my case, I'm laughing now, but I was on a free fall then, and it was extremely dark. November 2023, right? So I lost my 21 years of corporate suddenly, and then 2 to 3 weeks later I lost my marriage suddenly. So from there, I rebuilt myself, and now I help people through this YouTube. I write books. Actually, my third book is going out live. I'll be submitting it tomorrow for Amazon's approval. Oh, so exciting. And should be out probably in a week or two after that, because I have to check the print, and then I'm gonna let people know that it's available anyway. And then the meetup event. So all of this, it is possible when you can use the word surrender or acceptance or being grateful. That's actually even better. Being grateful for all of that happened. Like in my case, I'm grateful for even the bad things that happened in my life. It is crazy to say that, but without that, my friends, without that, I won't be walking this path that I'm walking today. So now, this is not perfect, but where I am now, I'm able to focus on more of what I can control versus what I cannot control, right? And that is the difference in life, of living a joyful life versus a life which has a lot of challenges. We all have challenges. Trust me, I have this smile on my face. It's not that I don't have any challenge, but I'm not focusing on that. And what we focus on, it magnifies, right? So if you're focusing on the challenges, your challenges are going to magnify. If you are focusing on what is going good, that is going to magnify. So with this story, I will tell you, so what, with all your heart, don't lean on your own understanding. So, after divorce, the next thing comes as like the co-parenting, right? So with the co-parenting, there are, because your kids, if you have one kid versus multiple kids, things could be a little bit different. In our case, we have one. So for her, it is a little challenging to live this new life, right, at two different houses. And we are helping her to get to that phase where, she has accepted it. And because for kids, it takes a little bit longer sometimes than older people, because for us it's a life, and that's the story I'm connecting with my life to this verse, like I'm saying, and you can connect with what resonates with you, is that the speed that I actually learned that from the therapy, is that the speed that we may evolve, meaning we will have the recovery from the divorce, it could take longer for kids. First thing is because they are not, their brains are not fully developed. And second, if you think of the second part is my own addition, it's not from the therapy, is that, for us, it's the single life that we knew, right? I mean, it was a different kind of single life. We didn't have kids or whatever before getting married, but it's a life that we had some familiarity. But for kids, like in our case, she is 10 years old, and for her whole life before that was this known familiarity where her mom and dad, they were together under the same roof, and that was the life she knew. So now when she's in two different houses, we're doing the co-parenting, it's something different. So she's still adjusting, and we have to adjust with her to make sure, she feels that love as we tell her that we love her and all of that. So sometimes, of course, we are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So I will say about myself, like, sometimes we fail. And that is where we have to seek for God's grace, or whichever way, like, because we can feel guilty and shameful for not being perfect, but we also have to, as we forgive others, we also have to figure out a way to forgive ourselves, because when we hold on to that guilt for too long, it does not help ourselves, and it does not help your kids or people around you, right? Because guilt and shame and all of this, these are negative energy and emotions. So for us to, it's not about that, okay, it's done, I'm not perfect, so I'm going to do it again. But the point is that it shouldn't become a pattern either, right? So we got to learn our lesson from that, and next time we got to do a little bit better. We got to do a little bit better. So we focus on the progress, not perfection, which you guys know. I talk about the inner coach and the inner critic, because the inner coach, the inner critic, the version, the two heads in our two heads. Two voices in our head. The inner critic is going to say that, be perfect, try to be perfect, but nobody's perfect, right? Inner coach is like, focus on the progress, because you have to tell yourself that you are making progress. Because when you see that you made a little progress, your brain is actually going to believe that you can make the progress, and then you are going to make more progress, versus if you go after the perfection, right? Because with the focus on perfection, you're like, oh, okay, you are failing, right? So then your brain thinks that you're failing, versus here your brain thinks that, oh, you are doing something positive, you are winning, right? Because our brain wants to win. So that's how the inner coach part works there. So don't go with and then go with the acceptance. That goes all of this, like the acceptance, surrender, all of it. Like, pray. Like when I pray to God, I pray to God that, God, give me the strength to believe more on the God's path, right? So whatever works for you. And this is one thing I really like about Christianity. That's my own thing. You don't have to do it that way. Is that you speak out the words, which also goes with my framework. You guys know I talk about mindfulness triangle, where the whole self-help industry talks about thinking, feeling, action that goes in cycle. My concept is thinking, speaking, action, because you speak those words, the positive words, and that is what helps you to take more positive action, because ultimately your life becomes more positive, your surroundings become more positive when you are speaking more positive words, because each and every word we speak is, bringing people towards you or getting people on the opposite direction from you, because we have 8 billion people in the world, and throughout your lifetime, you may meet thousands of people. In my case, I met probably, I don't know how many thousands, because I moved around quite a bit. I lived half of my life in India and half here, and I worked in many different places, but that's not the point. Let's say even if you meet 1,000 people, right? So out of those 1,000, your inner circle is going to be very small. Your inner circle may be like, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 50 people that you meet on a month by month basis, or even less, right? So those are the people who are shaping your day-to-day life, because what you speak. If you're speaking more positive, you will be in a circle of people who are more positive. And people, if you are talking more negative stuff, people who are, because that's the frequency thing. It's almost like a magnet, right? So one thing attracts the other. When the frequencies are same, it is going to attract one another. So you don't want to get paranoid about what you are saying, but it is important to be mindful over time. Is it changing? Because, and you don't have to even notice the words. You will notice, like, so when I'm filming this, it's May 2nd. You guys will see this tomorrow. I'll upload tomorrow morning. So May 2nd, and then notice, June 2nd, and then July 2nd, how your life is shifting. Because sometimes you may not see the changes on a day-to-day basis, or even week over week, but month after month, you will see some shift. Is it getting better, or is it getting worse, right? So that's how you will know how your thinking and speaking and action, these are changing or not. So for me, when something doesn't go according to plan, and I just lean on God. I lean on God. I pray, and because this morning there's something small that happened, and that's life. These are things like that will happen, and from there you lean on, like how this verse says, don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Actually, the other versions makes it a little bit easier maybe to understand. So submit to him, it says in a different version, submit to him and he will make your path straight. So either submit, surrender, accept, or be grateful for what happened, even the challenging things, because that is teaching you something for better for later, right? So all the words, it goes back to the same thing. Just accept what is going on, that is for something good, and then good will come out of that, right? Okay, with that, we're going to finish this video. Come back every Sunday at 10 a.m. And if you have any specific verse that is your favorite or something, just let me know. I will cover that. This is probably my most favorite, because this also has a lot of stories around it. You guys have probably seen, I made, I think, 2 videos around it. Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So anyway, if you guys have any favorite verse, let me know, and I would be happy to make a video around that. Okay, with that, lots of positivity, and find joy in your everyday journey. So last thing on that, joy and happiness is different. Joy is like, you are sipping coffee. So I'm going to sip water now. The point is that, you are sipping coffee, and there's my window, I'm looking outside, and I'm like, in a peaceful state. That is joy, right? When you feel content, you don't need anything else, right? Happiness, on the other hand, is like when you buy a new house, you get a new job. It's like a burst of excitement, but that lasts only for a little bit, like a few months or something. So that's happiness. So find more joy in the journey, right? So that is what will get you to where you want to be. Okay, take care. Bye.